Welcome to Unreasonable Optimist. I am going to be casting low elo, which is basically low skill or low ranking on the leaderboards games of Age of Empires 4. Specifically because I think there's a lot of really interesting stuff happening down here in Bronze 1. A lot of really fun people playing the game, this really just playing for the joy of it. So that is what we're going to do. So we'll just go ahead and hit play here, and we'll get started. So for this, the kind of the first matchup we have here, in pink, we have Call of DMR over on playing the Malians up here north. Okay, good. They are playing on console, looks like, so they probably have the auto distribution of their villagers, which is totally fine. Some wood is okay for early aggression. Down here, I would like to see them move their scout though. Down here, we have Jugador, which I think is just player in Spanish. So we have player in purple, taking a scout out, collecting some sheep. Interestingly, over playing the English, is sending their sheep down south, not actually eating them, and just immediately went for the mill on berries, which is fairly unconventional. But you know, maybe they're vegetarian and they want their English to be vegetarian as well. That's okay. So while these players are kind of getting started, I kind of looked into the history for these players. Call of DMR up here, our pink player, mostly does team games. They only have like 14 solo ranked games this season. Of them, they've managed to achieve exactly one win. So maybe this is it. I don't know. We'll see. And then purple down here, they have a solid win rate of about 32%. They've played a ton of games this season, and they really only play English. So they're kind of an English specialist. Up here. Okay, so it's always... Oh, and he rings the town bell. Okay, so early town bell. Does he pick up the scout kill? He does. Okay, that's, for someone who also has like about a 30% win rate down here, that was pretty good. That was slyly done. They just unring the town bell. Please, just put all those villagers. You have nine villagers not working. Okay, nope, not gonna do it. Okay, well maybe they'll put the rest of their their people back to work at some point. Well, while we're waiting for that, I particularly want to think, kind of mention that these players play the game a lot. And I think that's super admirable. These people are playing ranked and really just kind of going for it. They don't really care about winning, or they do, but they don't really mind losing because they are playing so consistently with, not a great win rate. And I think that's super admirable that they're just going for it. Just kind of like Pink here is just going for these houses. Just an interesting. Actually, look like both player. And oh, look at that. That's kind of cute. Little sheep pasture there, along with the chickens there. Still has not eaten a single sheep, which is wild. Whereas Pink here is really going for a lot of houses. It could be why Pink thinks that is because the Malians as a civ, they have the pit mine, which gives them a lot of gold if they build it on the gold mine, which I have not done. But if they did and they put houses around it, you get a bunch of bonuses. They haven't done that. That's okay, maybe they saw in a build order that generally Malians go for a lot of houses early, which is true. Just not quite getting there. In the meantime, purple over here. Wow, going for the gold mine all the way across the map. I like to see the map control. Oh, and another mining camp here. That's actually a spectator bug. But yeah, there is stone there. Doesn't want the stone near them. Doesn't want the gold near them. Wants to give it all the way across to take the enemies. But yeah, so these players, I think it's really fun to watch them because it's like they're very pure when playing the game, I think. So I kind of want to watch them, maybe learn something from them, because like I'm a gold player. I'm not particularly good myself. I'm sure there's things that I can be doing so much better in all of my games. So I think it's kind of fun to come down here and watch what they're doing a little bit. Because maybe they're like, I played like this when I was a dumb kid, so maybe that's that. Maybe it's a dad who just logs in after work, puts the games on, like, okay, I'm gonna do my silly little English longbow rush. So maybe something like that. I'm not actually sure. So I think it's kind of fun. Yeah. They like Mecha Hobbit says in chat, they could be just saving their resources for later in the game for purple, which they could be. That's absolutely possible. This map has a lot of resources because very often you'd see like defensive walls like here along the central river. But I think purple is very good about just getting out there on the map, which is very fun. And they even made another scout after losing theirs, which, I see why you'd want to do that, because let's just take a look at Fog of War. Purple's very active on the map, which is fun. Whereas not much going on for pink over here, but just more houses. Kind of left that one unfinished. Okay, that one didn't really need to be finished. That's fine. That's okay. Also, one thing that I've sometimes seen is that they'll mine like this. Like, look at all that way those 4 villagers have to travel carrying gold on their back. Gold is dense. That's heavy. So you really want to see them build like a mining camp here, so they not have to run all that way. But maybe they'll get to that later. Another super important thing is if they're making villagers, and honestly, Pink's been super on the ball. I don't think they've dropped a single villager so far. They're doing great. That could be because the console has the auto queue, but still, that's super admirable. Seeing the council hall, the one worker on the council hall over here for English. You usually want a little more for that, but looks like, Pink's also doing the one worker age up strategy here. Another mining camp. That's interesting. Okay. These guys are going here. Are they going for... Now, I wonder if... Now, in chat, tell me, do you think purple here is only going to go vegetarian? Or are they going to... Because deer are a fantastic food source. But I don't know. That'll be interesting to see if they... Because right now, they've just kind of gathered their sheep. They're not eating the deer. They're just eating the berries. Got 7 on food so far. Very, very interesting. That's a lot of houses for Malians. But that's okay. That's all right. So for some people watching these low elo games, like it's a lot slower than any of the higher skill matches. Like they could be hitting let's see, around the 8-minute mark. English, like the fast castle, you could be hitting castle age at this point. Which so they're taking their time. So it's kind of like watching paint dry, but I think there's really a lot to it, a lot of fun if you kind of just take a look at it and just kind of put yourself in their shoes. Yeah, Mecha brings up a good thing. Maybe they'll fish. Maybe they're pescatarians here. Yeah, that's very interesting. Purple does seem very good about kind of just going out onto the map here, which is very, very fun. I love to see players who really like to take control of the map. And the outposts, they do not want to be messed with as well, which is very funny. There's been no aggression. They haven't scouted any barracks or... Wait a second. Oh, Pink. The villager that was aging Pink up just kind of left. It's not what you want to see. Oh, for more houses. Okay. Maybe they'll get back to it. That's okay. All right, Council Hall. Doesn't have the food for longbowmen, but does have a bunch of villagers in queue, which is great. You always want more villagers. Okay, I think we have the answer. Here's the mill. Far away from the sheep. Smack dab in honestly a beautifully large berry patch here. Another thing you'll want to kind of take note of, Pink's been very good about not having idle time. The villagers are constantly kind of doing stuff, which is great. Whereas Purple, their workers are a little more relaxed. Like after they built this, they're just kind of hanging out, just relaxing. The one kind of tip you can take into your own games from that is whenever you build something, just hold down the shift key and then just right click it onto something. It's always better to, even if it's not a resource you need right now, it's okay. It's always better for them to be doing something. This hurts. It hurts a little bit to see. As does these travel times. So the kind of the two takeaways so far: make sure you get your camps up. Make sure your workers are doing something. But honestly, both players pretty good about queuing villagers, which is great. Honestly, looks like they could be gold with that. They're doing fantastic. Pink did go back to finally finishing the trade network. That's good. Still, that is so many houses. Are they going for like the clean 200 houses, like right off the bat? Very interesting to see. And this is actually the first time Pink is moving out off of the map, which is amazing. That so far, you can kind of see they don't know nothing. They have no idea what's going on out there in the big dark world. A little scary, honestly. I was always really scared playing like Age of Empires 2 or StarCraft. You just didn't know what was going on out there. And then it's like, ooh, what could they be doing? There could be a giant army. I don't know. Seeing the first aggression. Oh, so this is not a fight the Scout's going to win. Just as a reminder, the Scout does 1 damage here. And wow, but the quick response from Purple actually is very, very fast. The quick outpost. They must be expecting more aggression as well. Yeah, that's Scout. All right, so back in the dark for Pink. Back in the dark. That's fine. Okay. Purple. You surely you shift-clicked your villagers onto the gold after this, right? No? Okay, hey, gets it. Not bad, not bad. Has definitely kind of dropped some villagers. Only 30 to, Pink's 37. Man, Pink's doing very good with villagers. They've got it down. They're making sure they do not forget anything. It's great. So now that Pink, I kind of would expect to see Pink like build a barracks here, or something. Given that they saw that Purple was so close. Yeah, it does seem like to be like they're nope. They want their houses first. I can worry about military once I have space. I'm gonna go housing first. The very kind and ethical approach to it's good. It's good. You want to make sure everyone has their houses. Meanwhile, the sheep still hanging out in the little villa here for Purple, which is great. Some farms as well. Oh, that's fascinating. So, what Purple did here was they deleted their mill, which is strange. It wasn't taking up space really. It's also kind of note here because English, they get bonuses for their farms if they're near mills. So would have been great to kind of build these farms around this mill if you'd already had it. But it's a lot more defensible by the town center, so pros and cons. Wow. Okay, Pink sent some villagers to kind of go up here and I guess just die. But Purple getting arrow slits and also the reinforced tower, which gives it fire armor, very hard to burn down, which is wild. They really want this gold. And this relic as well. They put their little campfire by with their scout. Which I do love the campfire from the English scouts. Really gives you a lot of extra vision. Like to see more of those from Purple, but still, the idea of putting that there, like dropping a campfire on each relic, really good impulse there. I really like that. Still, no. Okay, they've hit their full house cap for Malians. So they've decided to just send the person who was building it just kind of over there. Two. This is not gonna go well. All right. That's not gonna go well. Pink. What do you? Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. They didn't really. They're so good about making villagers. They can spare a few. They're still up by 5, and they've had less idle time than purple. So that's okay. Still no mill, but one big benefit to having the farms around the town center is if they come, you just ring that town bell. I'll just run inside, very safe. So you kind of give up the bonus from the mill, but don't need that mill anyways. And purple, I don't know why players will do this. If someone could like explain in the comments, or like if you do this in your own games, why the houses along the edge here? Is it just they're out of the way? Both players have chosen this exact same kind of strategy for the houses. It's very interesting to me. Usually I'll just throw it down near whatever I'm doing. Like I would just build it with these guys. Still no deer, by the way. Still fully vegetarian for player in purple. Wonder, I might have to look into some of their other games and see if they are consistently vegetarian across all of their games. Might be kind of a interesting little sub trend there for Hubador. Okay, so this is taken. No. Okay, so it took a little bit of damage. Purple actually repaired this, which is absolute amazing attention to detail. But they didn't repair it fully, which is strange. Maybe they'll get back to that. But Malian also going farms here, which is great. Now, one of the big benefits to they're also doing the outpost. They're scared. One of the big benefits to the Malian civilization is from their mills, they can make cows. And then with their cows, they can get just a ton of passive, free food income. It's an amazing amount. So would love to see Pink put down a mill and start getting some of those cows. Would still really like to see the pit mine here. That's kind of the huge thing for Malians. But you know what? Maybe they'll get to it. It's like a little ant hive here looking from above. Meanwhile, White Tower still slowly coming along for Castle. I also like that they're getting some upgrades for Purple. They got their wheelbarrow upgrade, their food upgrade, their lumber. And very different, little line of houses here with all the sheep. It's very funny to me still. But yeah, very good. Really want to get those upgrades. Haven't made a single longwood. Neither side has made a single military unit. 17 minutes in the game, which is so different than any other tier of gaming here. And I think that's so unique and cool. Each player is just kind of focusing on their economy. Purple mined out all of this lumber here, but still they want to defend that gold. They're getting a second outpost, also fortifying it, and also giving it the arrow slits, which I think is very funny. Okay. Oh, they did build the mill. That's okay. Love that from Pink. Now if they just make some cows, make some of these enclosures, these cattle ranches, that would be great. But as you can kind of see by the resources, they don't really need the food. They're not really spending it on anything. So there's probably other things they could be worried about. Meanwhile, Purple just seems to want to have a little bit of presence everywhere. It really likes those berries. Yeah. Wow, Purple's really just taking the whole map. Ooh. Okay, well that villager will die, but the idea, the 3 toll outposts here to try to take that gold back. All right, they're sending more. That's good. That's good. If you're gonna commit to this, you got to have more than one villager. So that's good. I'd like to see that. Safer one. Meanwhile, Purple hits Castle Age. Sends their villager in. This is so unique that you would take just a little bit from each patch across the whole map. I think that is fascinating. I love that. Meanwhile, Pink Still going with the ant hive approach of just the long distance mining here. Beautiful little housing complexes all the way up and across. Just very, very unique for sure. Meanwhile, I didn't mean to cut away from the action there. Look at this thrilling tower defense action. Ooh. Rather than garrisoning it, the villagers into this one, they're going to build another. They want the full-on tower war here. That's amazing. And got the javelin upgrade, so it is shooting. And a house? Why the house? Okay. You know, that person decides to give up that on the house. Like, put up half of a house, call it good. Maybe that'll help later. That's incredible, frankly. Okay. And finishes, wow, that villager finishes the house. We've got 3 toll outposts versus their 1 tower. They're getting the javelin emplacements for all 3 of these. It's not reinforced, though, so the reinforcement really does add a lot of health and armor to it. Fire armor specifically. It's not going to do anything against these arrows. But yeah, it does look like actually the tower is shooting the house. So maybe this is a defensive house. The Springald emplacement up here also shooting the house. So you know, actually, maybe that was a good strat. Maybe I'm the fool here, because that is taking some fire. Meanwhile, Purple actually making the first military unit of the games, the Knight. Welcome to the party, Knight. And they also are getting their Monk, which is great. If you have this much map control, you want those relics, because those give you quite a bit of gold every minute. It's like 2 or 3 villagers worth a minute. It's great. Meanwhile, do they... Okay, so they must not know that they have enough houses already. They don't need 1 house per person, although that's very admirable. Maybe you'd want to play a different civilization, because specifically these only hold 5. So, you know, it's an interesting strategy is what I'll say. Still, the javelins versus the arrows and the Springald. Purple doesn't even have they pulled their villages out of here. They're not even here anymore. They're just gone. But why more houses? So what in their mind made them think, like, I could get a barracks, I could get an archery range, I could go for castle age. No, I think I need more houses. Yeah, it seems it's working well over here, so it'll probably work well over here too. Very interesting. You probably don't need quite that many houses, Mink. Okay, this is all right. Where more towers? It seems to be just they've got a little defensive wall of towers here. Wow, it's Castle Age for Purple. It's Imperial Age. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's Imperial Age. The cows. You know what? Thank you, Mecha Hobbit in chat. They do. I mean, they're not doing anything for them right now, because you need to be Castle Age or to have the cattle ranch. But they could eat them. Or, I mean, the idea of getting, I like the idea. You're kind of like, you're halfway there, Hank. You're halfway there. Okay. The range on this. So the English have this little warning system that whenever something nearby happens, that rings their little bell here. Must have seen something. Okay, garrisoning. Okay, wow, 5 villagers and a little too many for that one. Maybe hopefully they'll position Riga into that one rather than just stand there and get shot. But the knights, now honestly, I don't think these knights are going to be able to do it. Like, that's especially if Pink gets into that tower. And they're getting fortification too. If that goes off, they might hold. They might hold that, which is pretty amazing. Okay. Nope. Okay, so that outpost is going down. But they still have 2. Ooh, the repair? Nope. Decided. All right. Oh, those poor villagers. Now, you can see here, in the meantime, Purple is building Trebuchet. Built 1 cannon, 1 hand cannoneer, 1 Trebuchet. All you need to this helo. Just a little bit of artillery, and that's probably enough. That knight will go down, though. All right, well, rest in peace. Ooh, here comes the army. I don't think Pink like that. Pink clearly feels the need to fight over this gold. Nope. All right. Nope. Just sending them for a walk. Okay. Change their mind. That's fine too. Now, you know what? They're being consistent about making cows. I do like that quite a bit. Man, this is wild here. That house has honestly soaked a lot of damage. It's pretty good. Pretty good house. Maybe that's why it's Pink's favorite building. Meanwhile, over here, Imperial Age. Still that 1 Trebuchet, 1 Ribaldiquin. It's not a ton. But the 25-minute mark, usually you see these huge armies clashing. Usually you see walls being made, these huge fights going on. But down here in Bronze 1, not so much. Pink hasn't even built a single military production building yet. And in fact, they're garrisoning all of their outposts with 5 villagers each, which is absolute. They were doing really good on idle time, but now half their workforce is just not doing anything. But they're not spending any resources, so is it really so bad? I don't know. They're not building more towers up here. We'll see. Meanwhile, let's check in here and see if what are they doing for food over here? Purple, still berries. Not on that berry bush yet. Still doesn't look like they've killed a single animal. Good. They even have a sheep here that they could easily eat. You actually gather food faster from sheep compared to berries, so you're getting more food per second. But no, they're committed, and they're even going to get their upgrades all from the same mill, which is fine. A little slower to do it that way. Enclosures super good. Honestly, this can add up to a decent amount. It's not a huge amount of passive income compared to most civs, but English does have a little bit of passive gold here with enclosures for their farms. Now, let's see when their military will move out here. So these oh, okay, another 5 did get garrisoned here. I mean, that's a lot of arrows and javelins coming from the Malians against this armored fortified outpost here. But I'm curious to see when, I guess, or if Pink will make just any sort of military building, or if they're really just going to make more villagers. Just kind of hope. But so far, not a lot. No upgrades. No blacksmith. Even couldn't get upgrades if they wanted to. Honestly, still really good map coverage. Oh, and trade. Purple even has some trade going on for a little extra gold income. That's pretty good. And they know that the longer the distance is, the better it is. So they built it in the corner. That's good. What you want to see. That's honestly very good. I'd like to see them take the sacred sites or the relics with that monk they made earlier. Which I don't even know where that monk is at this point. He's out there. He's out there doing his thing. Oh my goodness. The full-on villager attack. This is incredible. Why would you need military units when you have 12 villagers, 11 villagers, soon to be 10 villagers? Just going for the absolute siege. With enough villagers, you will take down a fortified outpost, I suppose. And they're even sending more. They're quite a bit more. They're really committing to this. That's incredible. Okay, now do they go for the next one? No, they Well, without their so villagers aren't meant to be military units. So without them being micromanaged, they're just going to sit there and get shot to death. Just you don't love to see it, frankly. But nope. Okay, they're going for it. They're going to clear out this whole corner for purple. Purple is making, they're actually starting to make a decent amount of units now. And honestly, like I think at this, like the moment those actual military units show up for pink, they're probably just going to scoop. They'll just forfeit, call it good. I'm out of here. Good game. I did my best with my sacrificial villagers burning this down. That's just not going to go well for them, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, folks. Sorry, pink. But they do. They have a nice little defensive line here. Oh, the trebuchet. The trebuchet. Oh, pink. Now, since pink only has villagers and they've been pretty aggressive with them, do you think we will see if they're going to actually burn down the villager, or like use the villager to burn down the trebuchet? That'd be a crazy strategy. But that's the sort of thing you might actually see in these low elo games, which is absolutely like super unique and cool. Because right now they're trickling in a few more. They've got 13 of the cows, still no enclosures. Okay, just one knight has come in from purple. This trebuchet doing work. It is. I mean, if they're going to tower up, trebuchets are the answer. It works. That's the way to do it. Moving. Trebuchet wants that tower done. Assist their knight with a trebuchet, the classic. The 31-minute one trebuchet build. Oh, no. You know what? Shame on me. They're getting another one down here. It's all from the same place. So it's going to be a while before we get there. But, in chat saying village rest the trebuchet. Honestly, I would bet that pink is going to village rest the trebuchet at some point. We'll see how purple responds. Oh, here it is right now, just like we were saying. Look at that. And villagers do pretty good damage to trebuchets on those torches. They don't have great fire armor, so that's gonna work. There's really not much from purple. Oh my gosh, it worked. I can't believe it worked. This, village rushing a stone building with torches less effective than the wooden trebuchet, so it's not going quite as well here. So we'll see when purple decides to move out. Because honestly, I mean, if they had just attacked at, I don't know, the 10-minute mark when they got their counts all up with the long momentum, they probably could have just won just then. But this is low elo. It takes them a while. It takes them a while to get there. That's okay. And plus, look, purple is like taking all the mines around from. Wow, they're committing to this. That's incredible. They're really going for it. It's not going well because, as you can see, all of these guys here. There's one villager here just putting things back up as these idiots throw flames at it. Like, well, okay, I'll just build it. So it's actually it's holding up pretty good for the health for this thing. So. I think you maybe want to kill that first, but that's okay. Got to start somewhere. You probably got more important things to worry about. Oh my god, they're making the pit mine. This is great. Now they get the passive gold income. We need something to spend it on because so far they've only built villagers, but in theory, it's really good. They do queue more villagers. Given that that's their main army, that's good. Looks like they also got the villager health upgrade at some point. Just great, If you're gonna use villagers like this, oh, is that monk gonna convert him? Purple. Oh, hit that button, purple, please. Come on, purple. Hit that button. Do the Wololo. Make those villagers yours. You gotta be thinking it. You brought a different relic all the way across the map over here. Surely you did it just to convert these villagers. Purple, you gotta. Yes, we do see it. Yes. I mean, most of the villagers are dead at this point, but still, now they're their villagers. That's incredible. only in low elo games will you see a monk convert 3 villagers that are trying to burn down an outpost. That's and then immediately sends those villagers to die. Yeah, those. All right, well, they were traitors anyways. I guess that's how it goes. I guess. Okay, we do see purple getting fish, so not vegetarian, but they're still pescatarian. Let's check on the sheep. Sheep are still the scouts there keeping an eye on them. We still got all those little sheeps there in the burbs. Very nice. Hasn't eaten a single one, but is eating fish. Oh, yeah, that's Monk. Loses the relic before he gets back. But, he made his conversion. That's okay. And scares off those other villagers. Now, this... so all I saw that was that a certain player won this game. I don't know how it ends, so this will be very interesting because there's no way that Pink has any chance here in the least, like just at all. So that is fascinating to me. Yeah, I'm honestly like I expect Pink will just scoop the moment that any army shows up at their base. And like they're running out of resources here. I mean, they're also running out of villagers, but that's you did sacrifice them here, and then lose them to the heathens. That's okay. They're still very consistent about making villagers here. And honestly, Purple's doing pretty good. Their economy's been great. They're making a pretty big army. Usually, if you're making this sort of army, you want to at least be present on the map because your army's not really helping you back at the base. I think it's a very common. It's like, okay, I need the perfect army before I push out. I gotta have the full composition, little bit of everything here. The 2 crossbowmen, the 4 Ribaldiquins, the 4 Springles. Okay, one of the benefits of the trebuchet is it has a very long range. They didn't really worry about that. And Pink had even pulled villagers. They were gonna go burn it down just in case. Pink's on it. Yeah, Pink is absolutely, like someone in the chat says, Pink's got, a lot of resources. They're floating a lot. They're floating a lot of resources. Would like to see them do something with it. Just even one military production building. There. No? Okay. Where are these villagers going? Are these guys... Because right now, Pink still hasn't scouted on this side of the map at all. Like, not even a little bit. So is this the scouting and force thing from with these villagers here? Maybe. Just kind of patrolling. Seeing a lot of deforested woodland here. Just the signs of... you know what? Like Arcanus in chat says, they're saving for an economic downturn, which with this happening here, they might be having that downturn very, very soon. I think Pink might be in some truly terrible times ahead. Honestly, I expect them to just kind of scoop here the second they see how big that army. Oh my! The villager fights. Pink is vicious. Pink is out for oh no, Pink. Oh no. Oh, that hurts. All right. Well, you know what? They tried. That's a lot of arrows and javelins because I think these all have the javelin upgrade. Doesn't have any upgrades for the actual damage or anything. They did even eat. They killed one cow and didn't eat it, which is a little wasteful. It's probably very offensive to a vegetarian over here, Purple, who has not eaten a single animal this whole game. Surely they scoop now. Surely, like there's no holding this. Maybe they'll even make a military building. I don't know. Yeah, this is not going well. Not going well. And the pit mine that only got built, 25 minutes into the game. Rings the town bell, pulls everyone back. Now this is not going to go well. Look at that. Purple has all the upgrades. Purple was doing really good. Honestly, Purple played a fantastic game here. They secured the resources out here along the whole map. They stuck with their vegetarian food, which is incredible. They got trade up. They made an army, like a good army with siege. They tread down like the outposts. Really good game from Purple here. I think still a little ways to go, but honestly, like for AoE4 World has him marked as literally a 0 elo player, which means he cannot go lower. That's as low as you get on the leaderboard. They're the worst of the worst according to the matchmaking. But honestly, they did pretty good. I think Purple, there's a lot of really good fundamentals here, a lot of really good ideas. I think that, you know, building some more military units earlier, always good. If they had, again, eating those sheep probably would have been helpful. Probably would have given you that early food boost quite a bit. You built the council hall, so you could have been making longbowmen early. But I like the map control. I like the way that you kind of spread out. It was really good. Pink still will need some work, but they mostly do team games. Looking at their profiles, Pink mostly does team games. So maybe they're not used to having to fight for the first 40 minutes of the game. You know? Yeah. So honestly, yeah, that was really good from this player here. I'm gonna look through some of their games later and see if they ever eat a single animal during any of them, or if they stick with if they're a vegetarian only English player. We can look here at the timeline of that game. Villager count really good from Pink up until they kind of sacrificed some. And sacrificed, okay, they sacrificed a lot of them, really, here, especially at the end. But Purple, honestly, like, I've done that similarly missing many villagers, and I'm in gold, and so, like, I'm not that much better. And I'm sure if you look at your own games, just make sure you're queuing your villagers, folks. That's super important. That anyone can play this. Anyone. Like, you can, it doesn't matter if you lose. Eventually, the matchmaker, it'll just put you where you need to be and put you up against equal opponents. Like this person here. They mostly just lose games. But man, it's gotta feel so good. Like that push there at the end for Purple, they must have been like, yeah, it feels great. I took the map, I took the gold, I took all the resources, I'm gonna push, I'm gonna win. I think it's super fun, honestly. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to finding more games. That game was a little one-sided, which I didn't really know going in, so I'm going to try to scope out some more games that maybe are a little more balanced between the players, even though elo-wise, like the matchmaking, they were about equal. But yeah, I think it's just a really fun kind of look into just playing the game kind of for the joy of it. Anyways, thank you all for joining me. I hope to see you guys next week. I'm hopefully doing these once a week at least for now. And yeah, I think that I had a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys did. Let me know, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.